Yeah, I just want to do a quick little video here. I just wanted to kind of give a quick rundown of how nice this machine is to work on if you remove this panel. As you can see, this is the panel that is on the muffler side, and I'm at 550 miles and I'm gonna do my first oil change. So this panel is riveted on. It's got, I believe, 9 rivets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's several across the bottom, and then they go up the front right behind the shock. And then that very top one, that's the toughest one to get at, but I was able to get at it and drill it out. Just take a 3/16 drill bit, and if you got a longer bit, it'll work really, really well on that top one. And you got to get the machine up on a lift. I mean, you don't have to, but it makes it easier. Drill those out. That panel pops right off. Now, with that panel off, look at the amount of room you got to get at everything. It's simply unbelievable how much room there is. I mean, I've got the bottom panel off too because I'm going to change the oil. And I mean, basically you can get at everything in there. And the big bonus is now I can get at that oil drain. Simply right there. Drain your oil with ease. And then I'm going to be able to do my chain case. I'm going to pull the muffler off, obviously. Do the chain case too. Change the oil, tighten the chain. Oh, I'm also going to put in my 22 top gear. So I just love how easy this is to get at everything. Now, one thing I wanted to show, and I'm not sure how well it's going to work on here, but I took some pictures of it. But if you get up under here, you can see the should have got it from the other side. It's better from this side. See if I can have the sled fucking fall on me. Okay, so right there. You see what we're looking at, right? That's the chain tensioner. I found that pretty interesting, that with that bottom panel removed, you can just get right at that chain tensioner. I'm sure you can get a socket on there quite easily. So wouldn't it be nice if Yamaha just put riv nuts in place of rivets, like I'm gonna do, and allowed this panel to be simply unbolted with the riv nuts and taken off within probably, you know, a minute or two. Now you could just go ahead and do your chain tension without removing the whole damn muffler, which is attached to the turbo, which we all know has all those issues with the stock bolts. And, you know, if you don't basically put anti-seize on them right from the get-go, they're a bitch to get off, and they generally will snap. Now you can see I put anti-seize on all these when the sled was brand new with 0 miles in my garage, because I knew about this issue. But how many guys don't know about this issue, you know? How many guys are just gonna take their sled home, dealer hands it to them, they go and ride it. You know, then they gotta go and tighten the chain, which is something you know, an owner should be able to do, not have to take it to the dealer. And then they break these bolts because this thing is all one piece. So I just like that. I just thought that was a slick little thing. You know, Joe, my buddy online there on TY 4-stroke, XP123, we talked about this a little bit. a few weeks back, and I liked his idea. So I'm doing it too. Drill out those side panels, that lower side panel, and 3/16 comes off quite easily. That's the toughest one to get at, right there. Right, it's just above that shock bolt. Now, I was able to take the QS3 lever there and just switch it over to, because I run it on 1. I just moved it over to 3, and then I had a long enough bit that I was able to get that drilled out, no problem. That's the other one there, and then they go down. There's one there, and then they go along the bottom. So you end up with a pile of rivets and washers. And then what I'm going to do is, now I'm not sure how good it's going to work, but I bought a very cheap Harbor Freight. It's very, very cheap because I'm a cheap bugger. And we'll see how good this works. This is kind of like a riv nut tool. And I figured it's only going to be a one-time deal. I probably won't use it very much, so I figured I didn't want to spend a lot. So we'll see how these work. And I may do another little video of that later and some more pictures. Everybody go over to TY 4-stroke. Go into the Sidewinder section. Tom, who owns the sled, great guy. His name is Mr. Sled. And we want to make sure everybody keeps going to TY 4-stroke. That's where all the information is on these Sidewinders, and it's not Facebook information. It's good information. You know, there's a lot of smart guys over there. A lot of smart guys. Hell of a lot smarter than me. And you know, these are the guys that I've known for years online. They're smart. They don't post stuff that is not correct. You know, Facebook's all fine for the gossip and crap, but let's face it, I mean, you get a lot of incorrect information on Facebook. So I think everybody needs to go over to TY 4-stroke. And I've got a build thread over there where I post all this stuff, not only the videos, obviously, but lots of pictures and step-by-step stuff too. So everybody go over there, check it out. Rocker Dan here, and I will post a lot more on this because I'm really diving into it this today and tomorrow before the weekend. First oil change, filter, chain case. As I said before, 22 top gear. And I'm gonna throw my muffler at it. That's a stalker in there now, but I've got a nice TD stock modded. Ben sold me. So gonna be throwing that in here next. And then I've got the tune going in from Dave Marshall at Hurricane. I like to mix it up. I like them both and I'll use them both. I like both those tuners. Won't use any others just because that's me, but I like Turbo Dynamics and Hurricane both equally. And we'll see how she runs when I put the flasher in there and start turning up the boost.